she had me tested and all this stuff. And so I was in this gifted school, I was learning German, and, I was in this whole program thing and making, A's and whatever. And at that point, I changed. It was like this light that I had went out, and I became mean. I stopped I stopped talking a lot. You know, the old me didn't exist anymore. The fun person that was, running, climbing trees and all this other stuff I did in the country, and, playing with my cousins and all that, I wasn't him no more, I just kind of went in a hole, so to speak. Living with everything that was going on with me, like you said, I prayed that night, and at 16, and I told God, if you love me like they say you do, like I hear in church, like they tell me, then you won't allow me to wake up in this pain again, because I can't do this anymore. I waited till my family, my mom and my brother went to sleep, and I got up, and everything that was she kept our medicine in the pantry in the kitchen. So I took everything that was there, liquids, pills, I took it all, and then I lay down. And when I heard my mom call my name that morning.
For school?
For school.
Right.
I remember being so pissed. And that like further enraged me. And I was basically pretty much like F God.
What was the catalyst for your disclosure? What were you hoping to gain finally from coming clean?
The catalyst was, like I said, I was 25 when I, excuse me, just started to feel like I needed some help. I knew something was wrong. So I was able to, at 25, to finally call it what it was. I had been raped. I had been violated. I was molested. Because before I could never say it. So at 25, I knew I was able to see how my life was in this cycle, which was a continual downward spiral, and having a son at the time, I felt like in order for me to be the parent that he needed, then I had to fix me, or else I was going to damage him.
I want to start with you, Reggie. I know that there was a fear going into therapy because you were now having to tell the details and tell the story.
Right.
What was that feeling like?
Just fear, very nervous, but the feeling and the urge to be free was stronger than the fear to not do anything about it. I didn't want to live another 25 years. Well, not live, exist another 25 years, because I wasn't living, in that same state. And I had a kid at this point, you know what I mean? So, like I said, the urge and the feeling to be free far outweighed the fear to not get help, to not go. And so, my very first meeting, I went in, and she asked me why was I here, and I sat down on her couch and I let it rip. I said, I think I'm crazy, and here's why I think I'm crazy. X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. I was molested, by my cousin. This is what it made me feel. And it was like a volcano erupted. I had gotten to this place where I didn't want to live like that anymore, and I was ready.
But you held all of that in for all these years. What was that feeling like after the first session? Now, I know it wasn't instant healing, but what was that excavation process, as I like to call it? What did that feel like after that moment of just purging all of that?
I felt light, and I smiled. When I walked out of there, I smiled. And I remember that day was the first time in years that I was ever happy. And I went out and bought myself something, and I think I went to the movies. And, it was the first time I was happy.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing, because you're starting to live not outside yourself, but you're starting to live within yourself and say, hey, you know what? I can enjoy this body. I can enjoy this mind. I can, yes, there's work still to be done, but that you made the agreement with yourself that it's time. And I think that time is different for everyone. But sometimes we don't have enough examples of people saying, it's okay to make that decision.